This one's been a tough one, man. I'm not even gonna lie. To sit here and think about what I want to say has been so tough recently. I don't even know why. But you know what they say, right? Roses are red. Nah, man, sometimes roses turn blue. Sometimes they do. Today I was in therapy, and I always make sure I go, because all the incremental, incremental strengths that I've gotten, or, increases in my life, things like that, have always been something I wanted to keep, right? I started this journey because I had done a lot of stupid shit in my life, and for some reason the payment to that was a long time of being dragged. And I remember saying to myself, what I've done was the highest amount of, distrust or a sin to that person, or one of the biggest infractions you can do. And because of that, I deserved all the karma for my life, all the things that have ever come up, the fact that I didn't even realize my mental health was a problem most of my life until this time. And today when we were talking about, it was about, do I wish that people would have stuck around? And should they have? And do I forgive myself? And I think this is really important, because when you think about what people do to you because of what you've done, it shows a lot of true colors. And my mind can't wrap or comprehend, and this is what we talked about, people an eye for an eye, right? Like, I've messed up in my life and I've done bad shit, right? And I've never maliciously done something to hurt somebody, right? I haven't. If I've done anything to myself, that's on me. I didn't really try to, bring anybody into that, make bad choices, hanging out with bad people, hanging out with drug dealers and all that dumb stuff, right? Got in trouble. That was on me. That wasn't really on anybody else. But mistakes that I've made in relationships and friendships, I can honestly tell you that they were never done maliciously. They were done by my mind creating a false reality and just not really understanding, and not being man enough to admit that I was wrong. Not being man enough to admit that the choices I was making were nothing but destructive to not only me, but people around. It doesn't matter. You could try to defend it with anything. Oh, I was trying to be successful. I was trying to be the best. I was trying to do everything possible to do this. Bro, it doesn't make a difference, because you were hurting people in that amount of time. But an eye for an eye, destroying people's lives because of mistakes they've made when those people weren't willing to stick around. Did they have to? No. But weren't willing to when something was going wrong. And there's always an excuse, and there's always something that, I don't know, man. On this topic, I'm always 50-50, because in one side of me always wants to defend the other person and say, you know what? Hey, man, I messed up. Because I messed up, there's no reason that people should ever be around your life. Your friends and relationships, if you do people wrong, they should not be around, right? And honestly, you start to not be around for yourself. Think about this for a second. It's not even about other people. You've abandoned yourself by letting other people have a power over you that you don't even have over yourself, right? So if you lose a friend and you just can't get over that loss, and you want to do them dirty because they're making you feel that way, you're no better than that person. And you're no better than the past that has shaped you, or at least helped shape you to that. If a girl or guy breaks up with you, or they've cheated on you or done certain shit, that doesn't make it right to drag people mentally and emotionally for years. It doesn't. You destroy people when, in reality, a sit-down communication could have been done. It could have been. Why people always want to destroy things that are good, including myself destroying things that are good, I just don't understand why. And then I had to sit here and think to myself, well, what you destroy, you sit there and you say to yourself, well, I'm going to compare my entire life to something. I'm going to say that while I'm achieving this right now, this is the goal. I've had this goal once and I want this goal again. So I'm going to continue on that. Everything else around it just doesn't measure up. And it was brought to me the question of, is it time to let that idea go? And you know, some of you will sit there and say, yeah, it's time. It's time to let the idea of what you believe in go. Why? That idea that you believe in, if it was something that brought you peace, it was something that brought you positivity, it elevated you mentally, emotionally, spiritually, any way possible. Don't give up on that idea. Maybe things around the idea aren't the same. You might have to lose everything to gain that, and you may never gain that. Listen, man, you know, I used to think, man, damn, what is unfair in the world? What is unfair? I look at my life, man, and I have everything that you could want. I have everything material. And on the outside, you think that material things add value, and it doesn't. Because at the end of the day, those material things are not adding value. Because when you lose one, you add another, and then over time it gets old, and you add another, and you think it adds value. It doesn't do anything but take away from who you are as a person. Bro, I don't care how much money and happiness and all this shit you can have. You can live off the grid with nothing and have a soul full of peace. Or you can have everything and have a soul that is wretched and wrecked and just negative. So yeah, man. You know, roses are red and roses turn blue. Because sometimes they get strangled. Sometimes they lose what it is that made them red. They lose the life that brought them to what you know is beautiful. Your ideas, your feelings, what you've done may have strangled out what it is that made it red. And now it's not. Do you forgive yourself? Do you create hate towards that person? That friend, that job, that situation to fuel getting to the next level? My whole life I've done nothing but utilize a negative idea subconsciously and consciously to create success. Oh, you don't think I can do that? All right. Oh, you think I'm too fat. You think I don't look good. You think I'm not smart enough. You think I'm not athletic enough. It doesn't matter. Every single thing I've created something out of. I've achieved something out of it. But at what cost? Do you realize that operating on self-hate strangles out life force, man? It does. Because you're not sitting here telling yourself, hey, man, all right, cool, yep, good job. You achieved it. All right, good job. Why are we going to the next level? Why are we achieving something else? You don't do that. You say, it's not enough. It's not enough. It's not enough. So in every aspect of your life, it's not enough. It's not enough. And you just keep feeding it and feeding it and feeding it. And create self-hate because you have no self-worth, no self-hate. I mean, you have all the self-hate, no self-worth. You have no self-love. Because that's positive. You can't do that. If you're positive, it's going to make you slow. It's going to make you not as good. I can tell you that when you have everything in your life that you're supposed to have, no external bullshit, truly have it, the peace you have, and you continue to do dumb shit, you can't blame everybody else. You have to own it up and say, damn, I messed up. And if you don't want to get over it, and you can't move forward or you can't move on, you can't blame anybody else, man, as much as you want to. Do I think it's fucked up when people play on that? And they ride that inability to get over something and fuck your life up? But that's life. You're letting it happen. And if you don't have the strength to get over something or forgive yourself for bad shit you've done, whether it be criminally, personally, anything, doesn't matter, man. It's all the same. So forgiving yourself is one of the hardest situations. It's one of the hardest things to do because you're actively saying, I forgive myself. And maybe you're admitting that that's done. Giving a finite answer to something that you believe is infinite is hard, right? But remember, it came down to the fact that your choices equaled a response. If you wanted a different response, you should have done better. And you can go back and say, hey, you know what? Mentally, I wasn't there, man. Mentally, I wasn't there. I was making bad decisions. I didn't even understand about my mental health. I could say that every day. It doesn't change anything. Because you're looking at the past and you just want a concrete answer. You're not going to get a concrete answer. There are some times, I guess, man, that things aren't concrete to you. They're not going to give you an answer. And life isn't fucking fair, man, and we know that. And if you say, well, that shit's not fair, yeah, it ain't. It ain't. And guess what? Oh, well, it ain't going to change. It's only because you feel like it's unfair that somebody's going to change it. Now, I know myself, I'm not ready to move on from bad decisions just yet. As in, I'm not ready to forgive myself for bad decisions just yet. I've moved on from the behaviors. I've worked on the behaviors. I've understood the consequences. But to sit there and say, hey, you're good, buddy. I forgive you. I'm not there, man. So you got to keep working through it. No matter what's ever destroyed things that are in your life, I bet you if you look inside, you're going to find self-hate, low self-worth, and you're going to think to yourself, you've been using that negativity to fuel a fire that is short-term. It burns out. Nah. That positive flame that just stays all the time, it's an infinite burn. It's a faith. You smothering it out with negative shit, burning up this other way. And when that fuel runs out, you're done. So, man, you got to figure it out. I mean, we obviously all got to figure it out. But I appreciate y'all, man. Just stay up.